All praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kwakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Starting with the 144,000. 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. And to the elect, to the rest of the elect, the men, women, and children being helpers and believing in His truth. You know. This lesson I'm going to get into is about visions from the past that's coming into light. All right? That's coming to pass from the scriptures. Go back to, let's look at start right here.
Only for one country, and I want to tell you something. The Israelis said that they get assurances from President Johnson that the Sixth Fleet is ready for their help they need it. This was said by the leaders of Israel. Well, before we end this,
okay, the guy that I don't know who this interviewer is, but he's interviewing the ex-president of Egypt during the time of 1969. Keep in mind, this is 20 years after the so-called. Okay, if you're in the know, if you're in the knowledge, Amalek are known as the small hats. They call themselves Jewish. They went to the land of Israel. In 1949, they called it the Islamic State. Not Salakia, Israeli State, or the State of Israel. All right, Salakia. They been, through deception, getting the world to believe that they are the true people of the Bible. And to this day, they are constantly in conflict and warring against the nations around them. All right. That land belongs to Israel. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and those of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's been spread throughout the world, throughout all other nations. The seed, starting with the man. So there are Israelites in other parts of the world as well. All right? Because we went off from the Lord, we disobeyed, we broken the covenant, and we corrupted the land. So he had to kick us out. He had to evict us. Y'all got to go. I made this land for my people to be prosperous and for all nations to come down here to pay tribute. If y'all only do what y'all said y'all was going to do, and that was hearken to my word. All right? And to this day, there's so many Israelites that are not hearkening. Even though this truth has been coming out since the 60s. All right? Starting with Abba Bivens, who was Elijah, who was also John the Baptist. If you can receive that, you also know that this thing that we are involved in, you know, the true gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushua deals with reincarnation, regeneration. All right? But to get back to the point at hand, Israel and the Arabs, or the so-called Jewish people, and the Arabs, you know, the descendants of Esau, Edom, Amalek, and the descendants of Ishmael, the Arabs, have been fighting over the land, a land that doesn't belong to them. Now with that, I'm going to go to Joel chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. And that's what's happening now. In these days and time, the Lord is bringing back the captivity of Judah, being the southern kingdom of Israel, and Jerusalem, the northern kingdom of Israel. Bringing us back into our heritage, into the understanding of who we are through the Holy Spirit. Through the words being preached by man, starting with our beloved elders and apostles and bishops of the great millstone, on down. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. The land of Israel belongs to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Starting with Yahushai, being from the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom. All right? Judah meaning Yahweh. That's how you say it. You say Judah in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Judah is pronounced Yahweh, which is Yahweh thanks. Because that was the son of one of our forefathers' wives, where she couldn't have children. She was barren, and she knew if she had a son that she would be, and I just got this, I was just reminded of this by the Elder Gabar. When she had a son, it was going to bring her closer to Israel, our forefather. Because back then, women didn't care about, they understood the order. Their main thing was being married to a man and having children. And listening to their man, even to the point where they would call him Lord. They didn't have this Western mind state. They had a plentiful mind state. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we've been taught, we've been lied to, man. We've been lied to about a lot of things. And I'm not about to get on that right now. That's a whole different story. But the point is, Yahweh means Yahweh thanks. Or praise Yahweh. Yahweh praises. Because she was thankful for having a son, giving a son for Israel, Jacob, our forefather. Right? Joel 3 and 2 again, I will also gather all nations, all the other heathen nations, and will bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. And Israel is a people before it's a place, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And that's what they're fighting for over there. To this day, that's what they're fighting for. They parted the Lord, our land, amongst themselves. And now the Lord is about to bring them all to the valley of Yehoshaphat and destroy that place and destroy them with it. But in this lesson, we're going to get to, like I say, visions from the past, visions from the prophecies from the past coming to light. All right.
Conversation, President Nasser. I think we should take advantage of what is really a rare opportunity. A rare opportunity for you and a rare opportunity particularly for our audience. An opportunity.
A rare opportunity for you and our audience. See, so you got something, y'all got something planned. You know something that everybody else don't know. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 13. And this is what the Lord said about the Edomites, all right? Because this evidently is the Edomite. Ecclesiasticus 13, I'm going to start at verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith. Sorry, I was going to do a lesson on my other channel, but it ain't coming through, so it's okay. He that touches pith shall be defiled therewith, and he that have followed fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. All right, and that's what's going on right here. And you taking fellowship with a proud man. What did the dude just say? An opportunity for you and the listeners. Should it be an opportunity for everybody? Proud people, man. And pride comes before a fall, or before destruction. Verse 2. Burden not thyself above thy power, while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one is smitten against the other, it shall be broken. All right. And you're going to see all the other nations that's been under Esau, Edom, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Africans. They've all been subject to the policies, I'll say, to the policies of Esau, Edom. The red man who the world ignorantly called white. To the point where their customs have changed, even their dress code. Now they walk around with phalluses on their necks, and suits and ties. When there was a time where, like the children of Israel, we wore garments down to our feet. That covered the whole body. And the same with those other countries. It was a time where, if you go back in time and you look at the so-called Ammonites and the Moabites, their garments, how they will wear like long robes that summarized, okay, and the Arabs as well. They wear long robes, but now since the UN and NATO has gained control mostly over the whole world, which is being controlled by Esau, Edom. Job 9:24. First go to Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It tells you that Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. And then Job 9:24 to tell you that the world or the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. And now it's known as the beast system, that great dragon under Esau, Edom. They came up with the EU and NATO nations. They have their meetings on what they're going to do. And in 1949, they created the state of Israel, allowing all these fake these intruders to invade and be in the land that they separated amongst themselves, and they're fighting for it to this day. Where it's a clear prophecy stating that. Let me see if I can get that. In Isaiah 2:4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. Let me open that up first. Salakia. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, as we just read in Joel 3. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. All right. Meaning when the true people of Israel go into the land into our homeland, that all the other nations, we're going to be above all the other nations, and all the other nations are going to flow to us, giving us back our riches, our brethren, our sistren, You know. Verse 3, and many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. All right. So evidently that's not happening in that land right now. Everybody is not going to Israel, to follow the law. And that's another thing, another cut to those that believe that they're in the second covenant right now. There's no way. All right? Because the law has not been established. The law of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments have not been established in all the earth. You don't see nowhere in this world where people are going to Jerusalem to seek the laws, statutes, and commandments, or to learn from those people that's in the land right now. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And here's the point. Here's my point about all the fighting they got going on right now. Okay, come. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and swords being a weapon. No more guns, no more swords, knives. Well, they might have some swords, but no more guns. All these cowardice weapons, bombs, none of this shit, no more. Beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, which means it's gonna be more agricultural living going on. There's gonna be more rebuilding. All this land and this man Esau Edom hasn't done nothing but destroyed it for war, because that's his blessing. That's the blessing he was given. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. All right? But with that being said, let's get into what the man had to say.
For you to address to the American people, personally and directly, any message you like. What would you like to tell the American people that I haven't asked you about?
Well, I think that I have to say to the American people that they have to understand us, the Arabs, and not to listen to the hostile propaganda which is concentrated against the Arabs and against us, especially in the United States. And the Israelis are very, very influential and very clever in that field. I want to say also to the United States people that the Arab people have great appreciation to the United States people, and while the Arab people are friendly people and they want to have the opportunities for good and better relations between the two peoples, there is no direct conflict between the United States and the Arabs. The only reason for conflict between the United States and the Arabs is the Israelis and the United States taking the sides of Israel. We want the United States and United States people to be even-handed in this process.
One final question, a brief one. I've asked you about your country's military strength. What about its economic strength today? Great or small?
Hold on, man. This damn devil. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 12. See, and that's why you also know the Arabians can't be the children of Israel. That's why you know the children of Israel. And that's why you know, like, and throughout Yahweh Shemiah Shafai and others and apostles and bishops, man, that are not trying to sit down and talk to no damn vocab Malone. They're not trying to have no, because what vocab want to know is like what this man is asking this Arab guy, President Nasir. You know, he want to know what y'all got going on. How y'all gonna do this? How y'all gonna? But he don't understand. He a carnal man. He doesn't understand how the spirit is going to work. He doesn't have no understanding. You know, speaking about vocab Malone, this guy can't have no proper understanding of the scriptures. You know, But Ecclesiasticus 12 and 12. Matter of fact, I'm going to go up. Let me go up. Ecclesiasticus 12, and I'm going to start at verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. In the prosperity of a man's enemies will be grieved. In prosperity, a man's enemies will be grieved. All right? So like he about to ask him about their infrastructure, how are things going for them. But his adversary, even a friend, will depart. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. They put on that front. They like they care about, what's going on with all these other nations. Esau Edom, talking about Esau Edom, care like he care about what's going on with all these other nations around the world. Like he want the betterment of them, But nah, he's tricking y'all. Verse 12: Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Stay away from him. Stay away from the wicked man. Right? It's funny, like down here, and look in the comment section. Nazar, Prince, President Nazar, Patrice Lumumba, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Che Guevara, so on and so forth. What do they have in common? Let me see if I can open that up. They were all targeted by imperialists. They fought for the people and loved by the people. How I wish men like them would rise again. Nah, them men that didn't have the men better than them are on the rise. Put it that way. Men better than them are on the rise. The 144,000 chosen men of Israel, sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the earth. Warning our people. Lord willing, we are part of that number. Warning our people. All right. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability in this wicked-ass world that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments. And having faith in our Savior, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Our King. Soon to be the ruler over all kingdoms on the earth.
Growing your country's economic stream.
It is growing. This year we are fulfilling growth of production of 6.5%. In spite of the difficult position in which we face, we are building steel mills. We are now building steel mill, a new steel mill, and the production will be 1 million tons in addition to our steel mills which we have. We are building the strip mill. I will open it on the 1st of May. The investment of it is 70 million pounds. We are progressing in all fields. We are, in spite of that, going on in our plan of industrialization, all our plans, and we're having opportunities of work for everyone. We don't have unemployment. We are building schools. We are going on in the development of our country, and we are going on in our plan to raise the standard of living, double the national income every 10 years.
Well, as they say in Washington, thank you, Mr. President, and goodbye from Cairo.
Yeah, you just gave the man all of your resources, right? You just told the man all of your resources, what y'all about to do. But I missed a point I want to get, Salakia.
By the United States. It was said also in the newspapers, including the New York Times, that will be under the influence of the Soviet Union. We got for the high dam 5,000 newspapers. Then when we Soviet Union and so on, and in the New York Times on 55, when we reached the arms deal with the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
On that criticism.
You know, this is not a new criticism. If you remember what was said about us on 55, especially in the New York Times. You know, this was said in the New York Times.
Refresh my memory.
In the New York Times on 55, when we reached the arms deal with the Soviet Union, it was said that this will put us under the domination of the Soviet Union and so on. And I had interviews after that with the editors from the New York Times. Said this will not happen. Then when we reached agreement with the Soviet Union about building the high dam after the withdrawal of the offer of financing the high dam by the United States, it was said also in the newspapers, including the New York Times, that will be under the influence of the Soviet Union. We got for the high dam 5,000 technicians participated with us. Now, after 9 years, we have finished the high dam. The Soviet technicians have returned back to their countries, leaving only now here about 300. They will go next year after ending the having the turbines in the high dam, but nothing have been done, as to say, to be under the influence of the Soviets. Then after 67, it was said so, and you say it right now. But after 67, the Soviet Union really helped us. We lost all our army. Well, many countries have lost their armies before. Well, during the Second World War, the United States have lost their navy and Pearl Harbor completely. But they were able to study after that. We lost our army, and we were in need, of course, to have new arms and to rebuild our armed forces. The Soviet Union has agreed to do that.
See that? This is what I want to get. Then I'm gonna get a cutoff. Ezekiel 38. Son of man, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus said the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right? You know what happened in Libya. This is the president of Ethiopia. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. They took out Gaddafi, right? He was the president of Libya. They've been fighting the beast system, starting with here over in America. The EU and NATO been fighting against all these countries. And Russia is coming up being, you know, back then it's the Soviet Union, but now it's condensed to just Russia. You know, because Esau Edom, you know, from America, you know, has been taken over. You know, the NATO and EU been taking over that side of the world through the sword. Through the sword. And you know, since the war with the war that's going on over there right now with Ukraine, all of it is coming into play now. This is an interview that happened back in 1969. And he just mentioned how everybody lost everything. But the Soviet Union, Russia, Magog, is the only ones that were supporting everybody, getting everybody back up on their feet to this day. And now they came out with that dollar system, you know, financial system, being backed by gold. It's only a matter of time before America, under the influence of Israel, you know, I say under the influence of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, ultimately bringing all of the nations together into this valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Ezekiel 38 and verse 6, and I'm going to leave it off on verse 7. Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. I keep on going, but I'm gonna just cut it right there. I'm gonna do it. Verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been made also waste, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Yeah, after this war pop off, you know, this Third World War pop off, and Yahweh shall come back in them chariots to finish everything off, you know, then we'll be able to dwell safely back in our homeland, the elect of Israel. Yahweh shall Radazah, we are part of that number. Okay, with that, I hope this lesson is edifying. Till next time, well, let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kwakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Until next time, to hopefully let the Israel Kram Yasharallah Wa Abba Abba.